letters, one word. Stop.
Yo, what's poppin'? All my peeps, it is I, your host with the most, Renaissance man, who always thinks he can, and your champion of the peeps, Patty Pitts, back once again in the Yard Streams for another edition of Pitts and Sara's Wrestling Show, where we take no nights off. It's not just me, Patty P, here in the Art of Streams. I am joined, as always, by the best of the West. You can't forget about Sara Marshall. What's popping, girl?
Hey, yo.
Hello.
How we doing?
I saw the clip on TikTok of the biography on Scott Hall, and it was the end of when they're talking about the day he died. And I was like, this is rude. This is very rude. Actually, it was like the lead up to when he died, and they're all talking about it. And I was like, you know what? I did not. This should not be on my For You page. This is very rude. And TikTok, I don't appreciate it. You know, that was
getting
very
a
mean.
lot of love on TikTok, Sara. Getting a
Who
lot
does?
of love. Me. I've been
Oh.
posting a little bit more. Some
Oh, yeah.
engaging questions today before I think it posted. I'll check. Now, I was picking up vodka for my parents, and I had Ray Phoenix's entrance song on, and it's my new favorite theme in WWE. So I posed the question to the TikTok peeps, what your favorite entrance theme is in WWE, AEW. Like, what's your entrance?
Like currently?
We'll go currently. Yeah. It's because Ray Phoenix on all time.
Oh. I don't know. That's a hard one. Like, I don't know if I love one more than anyone else's. I don't know.
Like, Ray Phoenix is not my favorite of all time. It's currently my favorite.
Yeah.
Recency bias for lack of a better term. And I like to know other people's as well, because I feel like someone's favorite, you're like, really? And then you listen to like, okay, I could see it. And it also said for AEW too, like mine is the Death Riders. You hear that guitar riff into this like like so good, especially paired with like John Moxley's walk and everything. Oh, it's incredible. But let me know. Let us know in the comments right now. Like, what's your favorite? All right. Get Sarah's brain stirring up a little bit.
I mean, it's like I always go to my favorites because like Pretty Deadly's music always just like gets me happy. Gunther's music, I always sing it. Even though, because I say the spicy stuff. My sister started saying that as well.
No, you put in my head too.
Well, yeah, that's how you have to sing it now.
Because
that is what they say, okay?
I saw the clip of Roxanne working out with Sheamus for his YouTube channel, and Roxanne was telling the story to him about her niece watching Gunther for the first time and hearing his entrance theme and immediately thinking it's Baby Shark. So that's now how that's how Roxanne just hears it too, which it's Jaws to me. Like, I hear Jaws.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like to sing the beginning of it. It's like we were watching old Royal Rumbles yesterday, and Rusev was around in the ones, and I love to be like, Rusev Kutria. I have no idea what he's saying. Rusev Machka. And I'm like, I have no idea what he's saying or if I'm saying it correctly, but I'm like, yes.
Remember when he came out on a tank?
Yes. Remember how they kept pretending he was Russian? They like kept doing things where it's like he's Russian but he like that insinuated he was Russian, but he's Bulgarian. So it was like, but Lana's Russian, and I'm like, what is happening? It's like when they were acting like Gunther was German. I'm like, he's not German.
Kingston is not Jamaican. We understand.
No, but but the thing is that was a real jump for Kofi, because like at least it's like Rusev really is Bulgarian and Gunther really is Austrian, but they just were like, Germany sounds better in Russia too.
Oh, they're going, they're.
Oh my God. Also, Jack Swagger, when he was with the We the People, I was like, holy moly, because with like everything going on right now, it was during the 40-man Royal Rumble, and it was like Zeb Coulter comes out and he's holding a sign with him because Swagger comes out and
Oh
it
no, it
says
was amazing.
every 90 seconds an illegal immigrant crosses the border, and I was like,
Yo, don't
what
you
the
just
fuck
love,
was
like,
WWE doing?
yo, just it's unbelievable how WWE has progressed over the years. Like JBL had a whole segment with him chasing illegal aliens over the border to protect,
And
that's the early 2000s. It was the
I know.
absolute wild west. It was
Well, and that's the thing is, like,
unbelievable.
that's what makes it fascinating to see some of these younger creators or whatever when they will watch. Like, there's this one girl who she watches seasons of America's Next Top Model, and like I don't know if she was old enough to watch it when it was actually on, so I don't know if she's rewatching it or if it's watching it for the first time. But I think that show started in like 2003, and so
Mhm.
are so different. It's like a girl would be a size 6 and they're saying she's a plus size model. It's like it's this wild stuff like that it's like it's insane to think. Like, we still have so many issues obviously with our culture and the way that we
Obviously.
the way we do things and whatever, obviously. But it's like to see how different things were only 20 years ago. It's crazy to think that that was a time that we were living, and that was just
Yeah.
normal.
Oh yeah, Disney was doing it. Like those kids channels, Disney, Nickelodeon, MTV was a little bit more risque, not
Oh
just with the
yeah.
reality shows, but the music videos.
Yeah. Yeah. But I do miss that MTV actually used to be music television.
Right,
You know.
Sarah. I'm like 100% on your side there. Like
I used to like run home from school so that I wouldn't miss TRL. Like,
TRO is cool.
yeah, because I remember one time specifically, I think it was 2007. It was one of my favorite bands that was never played on the radio or on TV, but they were debuting their music video on TRL, and I like sat there to make sure that I saw it. Like, that's the kind of thing I miss, because instead of all this, I mean, all that MTV plays now is like ridiculousness. So
What band was it?
the Spill Canvas.
Oh, no,
Wouldn't-
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it may. Shot in the dark, but you never know.
Yeah.
2011 Royal Rumble. Before we get to comments from the peeps, I want your quick opinion.
Mm-hmm.
In hindsight, do you think they should have had Santino Marella win the Royal Rumble?
I don't know, because it's one of those things where, I mean, it's hard to put yourself back in the mindset of what was happening in 2011 to really give your opinion on like what would have been better, right? Because if I'm sitting here now, of course I would argue anything to say Alberto Del Rio never should have won, right? And then I also could argue somebody like Santino winning, it's a throwaway Rumble match, because that this dude is not main eventing a WrestleMania in a serious way, right? So it's like, I think that it was inevitable that Del Rio was going to win because Vince was really high on him and he wanted to push this dude to the moon. I don't know why, but it is what it is. I think that maybe like it would be nice to see somebody else have won. But again, like if we're thinking about 2011, it was probably going to be Alberto Del Rio,
Probably would have. I heard that on CVV when he had Sam Roberts on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so on the boat of Santino Marella should have won, but neither here nor there. That was then, this is now, and what's happening now, Sarah, is we're hearing from the peeps. Sophia is trying to do a WWE skit. Don't know how that's gonna go, but I love the attempt. Nathaniel would love to see Bayley win on Sunday and think Becky retains, and we get Becky Stephanie at SummerSlam. Okay, so
I think whatever happens at Evolution will probably end at SummerSlam. So I think it's possible that Becky might win at Evolution, or I assume Lyra wins, and then maybe we see like the final match of that at SummerSlam. Because I don't know how they throw Stephanie into that, because we have to remember SummerSlam is like in 2.5 weeks. 3.5 weeks, whatever it is. It's like August, 2nd and 3rd or whatever. It's the first weekend of August. So like there's not a whole lot of time for them to throw Stephanie into the mix and just completely abandon Lyra and Bailey's involvement. I mean, obviously they can do it. It's WWE. They can do whatever they want, but I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
I would like to see Bailey win as well, Nathaniel, and that's where I will stop talking because we got to show love to Sara there.
Thank you.
Got to show love to her from Nathaniel. David, what's popping? Speaking of love, showing love. Nathaniel said Metalingus is his favorite. Alex Johnson got his Caitlin Clark jersey.
Let's go.
Says Karrion Kross's new theme.
I love Karrion's theme. I don't really know what it sounds like after the like incredible entrance though.
Fall and pray.
You know, another one that's really good that no one pays attention to because it's not around anymore is Tommaso Ciampa's.
Oh, his No One Will Survive that was like that's NXT lore.
That's so good. It's a very good one.
And Rebel Heart, Johnny Gargano.
Yeah, but there's only like one version that I liked.
Well, yeah.
And
honestly.
Yeah, because then they kept changing it. And I was like, okay.
It got Def Rebel.
Yeah.
CFO got Def Rebel.
Yeah. That's the thing that I think is weird. I feel like they shouldn't have to do that because I think if you work with music producers and the music that they make while they're contracted with you should be able to still be used even after they're gone. Like, why not just pay them a flat fee and then be like, okay, this is what you're getting for this, and we're going to use it as long as we want to? Because it feels like that's not something that they were allowed to do with some people, which I think is weird.
I think we'll see way more current music artists this current music scene involved in wrestling theme songs within the next like decade or so,
especially on Raw, because we're talking about how like Raw is on Netflix and there's just so many more eyes on it than on SmackDown because they're still on TV. It feels like the celebrity or whatever, music artists will get more involved in Raw for sure. And I think that's exciting because like I don't think that not everybody has to have a song the way that Edge did or Randy or Cody where it's by a legitimate band. Yeah. However, they need something that makes it better because what Def Rebel is doing is just not okay.
It is tough. It is tough. Aaron is asking how we're doing, how we've been. Been good, busy. Aaron, very busy.
I've been spending a lot more time off of the internet over the past week.
How's that for your mental health?
Yeah. I feel like I start to I don't know, summers are tough for me because I don't like it here in general, but then when it's hot, it's like 115 degrees right now, it's like okay, then you have to stay in the house and like you can't go outside and it's just so hot and it's miserable. And then there's just like a lot, I was running 2 sites for the past 2 weeks, so that was a lot, and just stuff going on at home and whatever. It's just a lot, so I've just been trying to take a step back a little bit.
Great. Yeah, I've been taking a little bit of a step back, not for those types of reasons, but I actually want to go outside in the summer. It's not 170,000 degrees here. It's hot, but it's manageable.
Well, yeah.
And I want to go, to the beaches and stuff. My girlfriend and I went to Island Creek, which is this essentially outside oyster bar type of thing. Actually, this place, Duxbury.
Mm-hmm.
It's in, so went there, the city's great, going out and stuff. And 4th of July parties, because summer, you got to have a barbecue. All right.
Yeah,
summer.
We didn't, but
you got to have a barbecue.
Well,
with your burgers, your dogs.
Yeah, that's what we would normally do, but it was just me and my mom at home this year, and she's still recovering from back surgery. So,
oh yeah, that's true.
I was working, I think, instead.
Running 2 sites. Busy gal, Sarah. You're a busy gal.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of what we've liked and disliked in our lives so far, Aaron. And whoop whoop to you, El Juggalo. All right, whoop whoop to you. So now it's time to talk about our favorite and least favorite things in the Wrestleverse. Sarah.
Don't be a lemon, be a rosebud.
Don't be a lemon, Sarah. Be a rosebud. It is time for our lemons and rosebuds of the week. Sarah, I have pretty much one, like a rosebud and lemon that are kind of connected. So, why don't you go first?
Okay, I have one side note just because I was thinking of Adam Rose. I was watching something not too long ago, and and it showed this guy, and I was like, I feel like he was ahead of his time because I feel like he would be so over right now, and that's No Way Jose.
Yes,
They did not give him a good chance. Because like, no way, Jose, no way, Jose, no way,
Jose,
no way,
Jose.
Jose. I'm like, you know what? Like, I know that it was very gimmicky and kind of corny, but like, it got everybody going the same way that Adam Rose did at first, you know? And I feel like maybe people weren't into it because it was so similar to what Adam Rose did, you know, with like the crew coming out and they're like dancing or whatever. But this, I think, was a little bit more, what's the word? I'm just gonna say this word because I can't think of it, but it was like more inviting for the crowd participation, you know, because you could clap and you could sing, whereas like that wasn't the thing with Adam Rose. But I was like, can you imagine No Way Jose right now?
He would be a little bit over. He would be a little bit over. I saw him online. That's funny you mentioned that.
Yeah. Shout out to No Way Jose. I don't know what he's doing now, but hope he's still doing whatever he wants, you know. Anyway, so because you know there's not a whole lot, I guess, going on in wrestling right now because everybody's preparing for a PLE, so or a pay-per-view because that's what it would be called from AEW. I just had to try and find something, and something that did excite me was that WWE is going to be doing house shows again. I think it's this weekend or next weekend. And one of the current matches that is scheduled to be taking place is Gunther versus Penta for the World Heavyweight title. And I am excited about this because if that's next week, that means that he's still champion, brother. So that's exciting. So it would be next week, yeah, because like obviously they have Saturday night's main event this week. So first of all, champion. Second of all, this just is exciting for me because my biggest gripe with Gunther's first World Heavyweight title run was that they didn't give him a lot of main event talent to work with. They didn't put him in these matches that people were wanting to see. Even people who aren't fans of Gunther were like, dude, I want to see Gunther versus Punk. I want to see Gunther versus Drew. I want to see him versus whoever, right? And we didn't get that. We literally got Damian Priest, a one-off with Randy Orton, and then Jey Uso. That was it. And so them having him go against Penta has me excited about what could potentially happen. I just hope that they don't start doing what they had done before, even when he was champion last, where they keep having him have these like banger house show matches, because that was when he was defending against like CM Punk. He had, you know, and the matches that people wanted to see. So I hope if they do this with Penta, it's like, okay, can we actually see that on TV? Like that is my hope. So I'm trying to be a little optimistic, but it feels like they're moving in the right direction because I think if Gunther's going to be champion, he's going to be champion for a little bit, then I want to see that kind of match. And good for Penta, you know?
Great for Penta. That's a great opportunity.
Imagine Penta
will be
Gunther, though.
Like that's going to happen at some point. We're just getting that tease now. So I'm for it.
I feel like their styles are so different, but I feel like it could be really interesting to watch. You know? Like that would be really fun. I don't know. Maybe we'll get some clips or something because WWE does not really do house shows anymore. So and you know what? I was thinking about this the other day. I've only ever been to one house show. Have you ever been to a house show?
I've been to one.
I've only been to one as well.
Yeah,
and it was in 2011. And it was in, where were we? I was in California. It was, I don't know. It was somewhere in the Bay Area.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the only one I have ever been to.
There's so much different.
It was so yeah, like because no one's in character. The main thing that I remember is that there was a battle royal. Of course there was. And Cody was on Dashing at the time. And so he came out with paper bags and stuff, but he like took himself out of the ring and was doing that thing where he's just like watching everybody eliminate each other and then he jumps in at the last second. He doesn't win, but like, you know, that's the main thing that I remember because I'm like, yeah, that was very smart. We were like, we love you, Cody, and he's like, I don't care. I'm a bad guy.
I don't care. Put on a paper bag. Like I don't.
I did. There is.
Damn right.
There is.
Damn
yes,
right you did.
I did. Yes.
All right. So I had one Rosebud that overtook everything, but Fightful just posted an article about Jon Moxley's promo or what he said leading up to his match against Hangman. Mm-hmm. And the headline for the article is the funniest thing I've ever read. Jon Moxley, Hangman, per Fightful on Twitter. Jon Moxley, Hangman Page burning down Swerve Strickland's house was cool. Why apologize? Own it. And the full quote, where is it? Shit. Where the word, and so in the promo he says the world will see the difference between him and me. He doesn't want to win. He's thinking about the Young Bucks and his apology for burning down Swerve's house. That was cool. Why apologize? Fucking own it, man. He's in his own head. I'm at peace with the world. I give less than 0 fucks. I have less than 0 sympathy for him. It's going to be ugly. People are going to be sad, and I'm going to love it. Now, that's my fucking AEW champion right there. That's my guy, all right? I love Hangman and all, but goddamn, Jon Moxley is so different for the better outside of WWE for comments like that.
It seems like people are still not super into the Death Riders, though, just based on like comments that we've been getting recently.
Yeah,
and again, it's kind of one of those things like you're not really supposed to be interested in them because they are supposed to be the bad guys and, you know, the opposition, whatever. And I don't watch regularly, so I can't speak on it one way or the other. I can't say they're great or they're bad because, you know, that would be foolish of me to try and insert my opinion into something that I don't know much about. But I guess I don't know. It seems like one of those things where it doesn't really get a lot of love. Like even when I see anybody talking about Dynamite or the Death Riders online, and I get it, we're talking about the IWC, so I'm not saying that's a reflection of everybody, but it seems a lot more negative than I ever see anything positive or any interest in what they're doing, which I was kind of surprised about because they've been a thing for quite a while at this point.
The problem was that Adam Copeland ruined the Death Riders. That was the big issue. They should not have started.
Who?
Oh, Cope.
Okay.
Coop.
Yeah, where is he though?
He had a broken leg.
He broke his leg? He's still not back from that?
Yeah, when he jumped off the cage.
Oh, he's still not back? I thought I thought that was a lot. Well,
No,
he's like an 80-year-old man being like, look at me.
There you go.
And you're like,
Dots are connecting. Yeah. Now that was what really put a sour taste in fans' mouth about the Death Riders. And, you know, luckily for me, I can see past just one feud, you know what I mean? Ever since, it's been fine. And what he's been saying is true. Like, it's following the story. He wants to take over AEW and change it for the better in his eyes. And that's exactly what he's doing with no nonsense. He's kicking your ass every chance he gets. If he doesn't like you, they're going to hit you with something backstage. I like that element because it's following the story. And, you know, this build with Hangman, I honestly didn't get it at first. I was like, why Hangman? Obviously, we know I was on the Darby team. But now I see it and I like it. You know what I mean? I'm more invested in it. And that's what I think a lot of people are more favoring is Hangman winning because Hangman is, you know,
he's more of like, he's like the anti-hero, kind of. Like, he's not like
he's the anti-hero that everybody loves, though.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like, I think that if he were to turn on somebody that everybody loves also, they would turn on him too. You know what I mean?
Oh, he's everybody's favorite.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my real rosebud is the fact that I'm going to the Vacation Land Cup, baby. Limitless Wrestling's some tournament of the summer. And why is that important, Sarah? Because the Hardy Boys are going to be in Maine. I am going to see the Hardy Boys wrestle.
Can you tell Jeff Hardy I said, hey, what's up?
I will. I'll let him know.
I don't care that he's been married for 26 years. Just be like, hey, what's up?
Who cares?
He's making TikTok with his daughter. Okay.
Yeah. In soccer, there's a goalie, Sarah. Don't worry about it.
Just be like, hey.
I'm so excited to go to that. I've never seen the Hardy Boys wrestle live,
I've
so
seen Jeff. I saw Jeff in 2017.
mhm.
I don't know if I've seen Matt.
Yeah,
I don't think so. Because the
So-
last time I went to the first time I went to a show was in 2004, and that was a
Really?
SmackDown. So I don't,
Oh,
and
so
I
it
don't
would've
think
been
Matt
Matt.
wasn't on that show. So
Yeah, Jeff was in TNA in 2004.
yeah, well, the only thing that I remember from that show anyway is the main event. So,
There you go.
yeah, well, because it was Big Show and Brock Lesnar
Well,
versus John Cena and Eddie Guerrero.
only time Brock Lesnar has ever been in a
That
tag
made me
match
feel
that started.
so cool when they said that, because I was like, I was at that show.
He was there. He was
Yeah.
freaking there.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm so excited for that. I've never seen the Hardy Boys wrestle live.
Yeah.
Our good pal John Alba is the host of Ceremonies, which is, if you know anything about John Alba's history in Limitless Wrestling, it's hilarious. He's had a long history there, not only as just, the guy you want to hate and love to hate, but he led Prestigious and the Victorious BRG, Channing Thomas, and Mac Daniels, which, where the fuck is Mac Daniels, man? Yeah, I should ask Brett that, but anyways, but that actually kind of leads me to my lemon, Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
I know, crazy. Something that's my rosebud could actually kind of be my lemon.
Mm-hmm.
Victorious BRG Brett Ryan Gosling is not on the card.
Well, yeah, didn't he get released?
Okay. From MLW. No, this is Limitless.
Oh, right.
Yeah. He is not on the card, Sarah. Do you know how upset that makes me?
Have you talked to him?
Do you know how upset that should make everybody? We need to see Brett Ryan Gosling on the Limitless card. I want to go see him. And I want to see him claim sweet victory against Channing Thomas, against anybody else. The Big Boofa. I do love the Big Boofa, though. But he just, besides the point, I want to see him just be there. All right, Randy, make it happen, man.
Maybe it will.
I really hope so.
When is
I
it?
found that out today. August 9th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's still time.
There's still time. Randy, come on, make it happen. I want to see him. All right, that's all I got for my lemon, because that really irked me today when I found that out. Sarah, what's your lemon, girl?
So the current rumor, or I don't know if it's confirmed or not, is that Cena is only supposed to appear on one episode of SmackDown in July because he's filming another movie. And that really bums me out, because I feel like they were really building something good with the feud with Punk, and I feel like that kind of opened this new side of Cena that people were really wanting out of this heel run. And I mean, I still believe with all my heart that it wouldn't matter what Cena was doing on this heel run, people would complain regardless.
Yeah.
But I do think that they could have really built off of that and like kept the momentum going, because people were starting to actually enjoy what Cena was doing. So it just bums me out that he's only going to be on one SmackDown, because then it's like, okay, what SmackDown is that going to be? What is his SummerSlam match going to be? I mean, you assume that, oh, well, the SummerSlam match actually is him versus Cody, right? Yeah. So I don't love that we're only going to get Cena one time between now and SummerSlam, because I feel like there's a lot for him and Cody to go back and forth about, because we haven't really seen any of that since he beat Cody at Mania. So I don't know. I was just kind of disappointed, and I'm not like ragging on him at all, because I get it. Like, we knew that we were only going to get him a certain number of times, but I feel like we're getting close to the end. We're more than halfway through the year. So I just wish that he was around a little bit more, especially before a big PLE like SummerSlam. I would have liked to see more development in that story than what it looks like we're going to get.
Yeah, I empathize there. It does suck that we're only going to get him one time. My thought immediately goes to Cody being in Randy's corner for his match against Drew McIntyre and potential feud, that comes about that. Because Drew McIntyre ran in on both of them and called out kind of both of them.
Well, and I think, I don't know, because then like Cody just got cast in the same movie that Roman did. And then there's rumors that means that he's going to have to, that Roman was going to come back for SummerSlam, which would somehow mean that he's coming back in the next 2 weeks. And I don't know how that makes any sense.
They did drop his name though. They dropped his name.
But the movie is reportedly set to start filming at the end of August. So if that's true, then it feels like, okay, Cody is getting written off at the beginning of August. So my idea of if that is true, I think that Cody might beat Cena at SummerSlam and then get immediately cashed in on by Seth, and then Seth will get him off TV by like stomping him, and then it like makes sense for him to be gone. Assuming that Cody is going to do what we assume Roman's going to do, and that will be like he will not be around while they're filming the movie. I could see Cody is the type of dude that would still show up even though he's filming a movie. So I don't know that 100% certainty that he wouldn't show up. But if that's the case, I think that makes it work, because then Cody can come back and feud with Seth for the title. Cena and Seth can go after each other right now while Cody's gone. And then what that still leaves, like, we don't know what's going to go on with Roman. But if we're just kind of ignoring that for the time being, that makes sense to me. So then it's like, okay, well, I guess that means that we'll see Seth versus Cena next. And I guess that's exciting. But I don't know.
I'm excited for that. That's what I'm looking forward to post SummerSlam. I don't care that Cody Rhodes going to film the movie, because exactly what you said, Sarah.
Yeah.
Like, Cody's the type of guy who, he won't be in any TV matches, but he's going to come out, he's going to have his pyro, and he'll have segments with Seth, maybe Cena, but he'll be there. You know what I mean? But he just won't be wrestling, which, I mean, for a movie, though, the problem is, like, movie sets, you're on set all day and all night. Like, you can't really get away from the movie. So,
I don't agree with this. I know everybody is saying this, but I think that is so stupid, because their feud has nothing to do with the title, first of all. And second of all, Roman, if he shows up for SummerSlam and then dips again at the end of the month, there's no point in him doing something like this, because, like, what does that do? To me, it makes more sense for him to, I don't know, he shows up or whatever and makes it clear that he wants to feud with Seth, but then him going after Seth for the title is more intriguing to me.
I do. I don't know. Anytime Roman Reigns in the title picture, it's intriguing. So,
sure.
All right. When we get to all the comments, I mean, that one was just
a lot of it was the bad guy Nathaniel talking back and forth.
Okay, well, the bad guy, I love the participation, but I don't like that idea.
Well, and I know, like, so many people are saying that, so you're not, like, completely off base. Like, it's not coming out of nowhere. I just don't see that happening, because Cody isn't going to be Cody's not going to be the champion if he's then going to go film a movie, because that doesn't make any sense. And there has to be some sort of end for John Cena. And a good way to get people behind him, in my opinion, is to have him against Seth. He could even have something with Roman again, because Roman could get in his way of getting it to Seth. I don't know. But that I just have a feeling more that Seth is cashing in on Cena. I don't see it happening with Gunther. It doesn't make sense, in my opinion.
Before we hop in and travel around the Wrestleverse, Fresh Fly, good question. What match are you both looking forward to the most this weekend? I immediately Omega Okada, to the point where I'm going to make my nephew watch it. It might be the only match that we can watch in AEW, and we'll watch Saturday's main event, but he's watching that match. Like, that is going to be wrestling cinema.
For me, it's the women's triple threat for the IC title. I'm really excited about that match, because I think it has potential to steal the show. I still think it should be the main event, but I like the story that they have going in, and I like how featured Lyra has been, and people are getting so behind her, which was the whole point of why Becky was involved in this from the beginning. So all the people saying Becky Hogan are just kind of looking silly at this point because they're accomplishing what they wanted to accomplish with this. So I'm just excited because I think Evolution has the potential to be really good. And I think that match is going to be one that hopefully will be really, really good that we remember for a long time.
Yeah, me too. That's up there. It's my top 3, except for the weekend. We will not. I have family coming.
Yeah,
this
that's
weekend
why
from California.
That's why we're recording today. I mean, I could always do stuff solo. I just don't know if anyone would join. Because we don't do streams a lot, like live streams during shows. I don't know that people don't really come in and like want to watch along, you know what I mean? Because like they don't think that we do them. So I think there is a point in the future that if enough people are like, hey, we would love to do a watch along, then yeah, we would totally
easily do a watch along. But no, I will not. We got family from California. I'm so excited. We're going to. You ever go to Starland, Sarah?
No.
Do you remember Starland? No.
Oh,
it's awesome. Starland's the shit. So is traveling around the Wrestleverse. A few of my favorite things. We got a lot of predictions, Sarah. We have 3 shows to predict, along with a few other tidbits that are going on as well. So, because I'm a gentleman, ladies first. WWE Evolution predictions. Starting off with a match that people, myself included, and you included, believe should not be the main event. And we have another side of the fence saying that it absolutely will be. So along with your prediction, give me, I mean, I already know what your freaking answer is. It absolutely shouldn't main event. I am actually on your side on this one. I don't believe it should main event either. But who do you think should win?
Who do I think should win differs from who I think will win.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Who do I think should win? Io Sky. Who do I think will win? Rhea Ripley.
Let me write this.
Because Triple H is in love with Rhea, and I'm not taking anything away from Rhea. I love Rhea too. I just don't love her being the champion right now. I don't love Io Sky not having a solid title run, and it has nothing to do with her. So, but because they've been touting so much that Rhea has never beaten Io, it feels like, yeah, okay, they're not going to not have her win this weekend. If that wasn't a thing, then I think that Io might have a better shot. But I think because they've made it a point to say that over and over and over again, then Rhea's walking out as champion.
Yeah, my gut's telling me Rhea. My heart is telling me Io because I really want to see her versus Asuka at SummerSlam. We're not going to get that, obviously, with the reuniting of the Kabuki Warriors. So, I'm going with Rhea Ripley, unfortunately. Sarah, take it away while I add another banner that I may have forgot about. Jade Cargill versus Naomi in a no-holds-barred match. Sarah, who do we have?
Okay, this one's kind of tricky because I think that they kind of want this to be the end of their feud, which I think it's been long enough. They probably should be ending it. I think we're getting close to like 5 months at this point, or closer or longer than that. But I think we finally found out that Naomi did it at Elimination Chamber, so that's been close to 5 months. Jade is coming off of a Queen of the Ring win, so I don't think she needs this win. I don't think that Naomi necessarily does either. She still has the briefcase, but I feel like Naomi beating Jade is more beneficial for Naomi than Jade taking a loss is bad for Jade. I don't think this does anything bad for Jade. If anything, it makes her look like more of an underdog before getting her match at SummerSlam against Tiffany or whoever is women's champion at that time. But I'm gonna go with Naomi. I think that goes along with her character so well. So I really hope that they get like violent because again, we don't get to see that a lot with the women. And this fits the entire vibe of Naomi right now. So I'd love to see it be Naomi.
Yeah, did Jade won at WrestleMania, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so Naomi, I could see her winning this and squashing the feud for the time being.
Yeah.
And then at SummerSlam, you know, that's when she or actually I'm going to circle back. I'm going to hit the reverse button on this. What if Jade wins? I'm going with Jade because I think Jade wins. Naomi's so pissed off that she can't beat Jade Cargill, and Jade Cargill's in a women's title match. That's the reason for cashing it.
Oh.
What do you think, Rems? Did you say Jade Cargill too? Yeah, she did. Yeah, I heard Jade Cargill from Remy, so we're gonna take that.
Okay.
So there we go. Love it.
Yeah, she's being very vocal right now, and I don't know why.
Is it a full moon tonight?
No idea. You cannot step on the keyboard. Okay. Girl.
Why is it doing that?
Stop it.
I'm just making another banner here. Don't mind me, because we both.
Rams.
All right.
Bad guy agrees with you, by the way. Jade wins and then Naomi cashes in.
Yeah, I love that. I love when people agree with me, Sarah. Just like an ego thing. Ego. All right. So boof kaboof, you're done. Boof kaboof, you're done. You're not. We got to talk about Tiffany Stratton taking on Trish Stratus.
My queen.
For the WWE Women's Championship.
Tiffany's retaining.
Yeah,
I don't think we're not at a point in WWE right now where we need a legend to come in and win the women's championship. So I hope that this is a good match. But I don't see Trish winning.
I don't either. You know, it's nice to see Trish at Evolution. I absolutely believe she deserves to be there. Fighting for a women's championship. Absolutely. You know,
it feels almost like a replacement for the Nikki match.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
because Trish may have been in the Battle Royal instead of Nikki.
Yeah.
So, but you know,
I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean in general.
No, it is what it is. No harm, no foul. But it is what it is, and we're getting Trish Stratus versus Tiffany Stratton, which a lot of people probably want to see. We probably would have seen it. You're just getting creamed over there.
Oh.
And yeah. That's all I really got with this one. I don't really have a lot of depth with this. So we have Rhea, Tiffy, and then you said Naomi. And
Nathaniel and a bad guy think Tiffany wins.
All right. We'll jot that down. I'm going to end with that. Keep going with the championship trend. JC Jane of Fatal Attraction taking on the juggernaut Jordynne Grace for the NXT Women's Championship. Fun fact, the winner of this match goes on to take on, is it Masha Slamovich?
I think so. You also forgot a match.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. Women's tag team titles.
Sarah, that's where is it?
Oh, I see it. It's just not where it's supposed to be. Okay, good.
That's what I was adding.
Yeah,
okay. That's what I added.
Okay.
Take over. So take over now and give me your thoughts on who you believe should win.
This one is kind of confusing because I thought Jordynne Grace got brought up to SmackDown, but she's been back in NXT, so I'm kind of confused.
Oh yeah, didn't she?
Yeah, remember it was her and Julia were brought up to SmackDown.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Raw. You know what it might be though is they really wanted to push Julia, so they were like, all right, maybe it's not the best time for Jordynne.
Yeah.
This one is, I think, a little tricky because I think that JC deserves a longer reign than her losing. But it feels like they're not going to put Jordynne Grace in another title match and not make her champion, right? I mean, that's the thing that I'm not sure about. I don't know.
I don't know.
The bad guy says that JC wins and it'll be so that she eventually puts the title on Blake. I mean, You know what? I want to go with the good vibes, and I want JC to win because I think that people are still doubting her as the NXT Women's Champion, and they still think that she's just like a placeholder for who they really want to be champion, and she shouldn't be in this position. So I'm gonna say that she wins because I want that for her.
Okay. I am going to pick Jordan Grace.
Okay.
Because I have a feeling that they could do something with Jordan Grace being TNA Women's Champion or TNA Knockouts Champion and NXT Champion. I would like something to be there. So I'm going to manifest that on the show, and we can differ. Differing is okay. Makes for good. And where is it? See, I got confused too. Kabuki Warriors taking on Zaruka, the team of Zarya and Sol Ruka, taking on Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, and Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez of Judgment Day for the Women's Tag Team Championship. What do we got?
I think Judgment Day retain because to me it makes the most sense for storyline. Sol Ruka is still the women's NXT and North American champion, correct?
Yes, she is.
So she doesn't need another title. Kabuki Warriors just got back together, so it's not like they need anything right now. Charlotte and Alexa are not like a legitimate tag team, and I think that this might be a blip. This doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a long-term thing because they can be allies. They don't have to be a tag team. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think that storyline wise, it makes more sense for Raquel and Roxanne to retain because I think that they're kind of trying to go with Judgment Day as like unified and they're in a good space, even though Liv's not here. And so like taking the titles off of them already does not feel like good vibes.
No, you got to keep it going. She's not there. You can keep the lore that everything's okay.
Yeah.
Once she comes back, then start having cracks in the walls.
Yeah, I think that or the cracks started happening, but it was like Dom was on the outside, That's what I want to see because I want to see Dom reunite with babyface Liv. So to me, it's like this is a way for Roxanne to prove her worth and her value to Raquel, and that she will do whatever she can to make sure that they retain. I just think that the storyline wise, like what could come out of this match, it makes the most sense for Judgment Day to still be champions.
No, I agree kind of with that. The only thing I may add is I think there's more out of all the 4 teams or the 3 other teams, the challengers. There's something there for Charlotte and Alexa to win. I actually think that the whole storyline is going really well over in SmackDown, and win or lose, I still want to continue.
Well, I think that they could get a one-on-one match. You know what I mean? Like maybe they just absolutely kill it in this match, but they still don't win. Maybe they're not the ones that are pinned. But if Raquel and Roxanne retain, they still have to go to SmackDown to deal with women's tag teams and defend the titles. So they could very easily then defend them one-on-one or whatever against Charlotte and Alexa in the future. Maybe that's the SummerSlam match.
Maybe I would like to see them at SummerSlam tag. That would be pretty cool. Like there's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
Right, so that's oh no, it's not.
Nope.
Because it's the Battle Royal. Which who do we think is going to win that?
Stephanie Vaquer. Because it's a match at Clash in Paris. They're probably going to want her versus Rhea. Although I don't love it because I don't love Rhea retaining over Stephanie. But
I'm doing it.
What?
You can look, but you can't touch.
You're disgusting.
I don't know. No, something just is telling me you gotta pay. Like it's gonna happen.
No.
Like
gross.
Sarah,
But I just don't get it. Why does she get a title match and she can't hang with Rhea? or EO.
Yes. Sarah.
Well, I
it's-
guess it doesn't have to be. She could go against whoever the SmackDown champion is. Potentially. But still, I don't know. I'm not into it. So I hope you're wrong. I really hope
Okay.
you're wrong.
Well,
Nathaniel says Stephanie. Bad guy says Stephanie. Pat. Pitts, don't piss me off. Me.
I legit like I don't know. I don't like if I'm right, cool, but if I'm wrong,
No.
cool. You
No.
know, like
No, absolutely
I'm
not.
kind
There
of,
is no reason to say that it is cool if you are right.
okay.
No way,
maybe
Jose.
we weren't.
No way.
Wait,
Jose.
No. All right. I'm sorry. Well, maybe I did. Is Bree going to be in the battle royal? I don't know. If
I
Tony
don't-
Khan lets her, I just
What?
because Bryan Danielson.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
why.
Well, that's
you have
ridiculous.
to remember that. No, I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the clause about that. I don't know. Like, why isn't only Nikki here? Type of thing. Like, you could, if you want to go down
Nikki
that
was
rabbit hole,
more of
be
an
my guest.
established singles girl than Brie.
Primo.
That is one of the. That has to be like the worst entrance theme. One of the worst entrance themes I've ever heard in my life.
It's one of. I will say one of.
Yeah.
All right. Now it's time for Saturday night's main event predictions, Sarah.
Yes.
Starting, I'm not going to start with that. We only have 3 matches that are on the card that have been announced. So,
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, not really a lot of substance there. Randy Drew. This one's going to be a hard hitting match. This is going to be meat slapping meat.
And I'm already pissed off because
Why?
Drew's going to lose.
I don't know.
No, I think he is. Because I don't even. What is the point of this feud anyway? Like, I mean,
he's tired of because they were in the title picture, but now they're being buddy, and Drew's sick of this fake buddy bullshit. He saw what Randy was capable of to turn back into the Viper, but was soft because it was his friend. And Drew McIntyre, being the guy who has basically no friends, is like, take his head off with a punt so you can win the championship. That's what I would have done.
Well, yeah.
I'm not hesitating, even if it is my friend Sheamus.
Yeah. I mean, I guess. I mean, I just wonder if this is going to be like something that they continue beyond this show. You know? Like, if that is, then if it is something that they do beyond this, then yeah, I guess maybe Drew could win. But I don't know. I just want to see Drew win a feud. That would be awesome.
That would be nice for him to win a feud.
He lost to Damian. He lost to Punk.
Damian Priest is.
It's like
all rise for the punishment.
So, yeah, I still think Randy wins.
I'll go Drew.
I appreciate the positive vibes.
For you, I'll pick Drew. All right, and next up, I'm in the comment section. We got Seth Rollins, the Visionary, taking on LA Knight. Yeah. Sarah, who do you think?
LA Knight has to win.
I'll go with the pause. You know what? Think of positive here. I will also.
You know why? Because it doesn't hurt Seth.
No, it really doesn't.
He's still the Money in the Bank winner. It doesn't, like, no one's going to be like, oh, I don't take Seth serious. But they will if they keep having LA Knight go against legitimate main eventers and he doesn't win. And this is just a Saturday night's main event. This isn't WrestleMania. You know what I mean?
It's literally on cable network television, which Raw and SmackDown. Raw was, but SmackDown is on cable television too. So, take that as you may.
Yeah.
It would be, it's a massive win for LA Knight if he does pin Seth Rollins. I saw a report online that it could be possible for LA Knight to challenge Gunther at SummerSlam.
Oh, geez.
Only thing that would make that possible would be a pinfall victory over Mr. Money in the Bank. So,
yeah. Also makes it a little bit more interesting to think about a potential cash in because Seth would have beef with LA Knight. So if he has a match against Gunther, then you're like, oh, is Seth like waiting in the wings? Because why wouldn't he want to cash in on the guy that just pinned him?
Oh man, but yeah, okay. But
I'm
like,
saying it adds more intrigue.
it
is
does.
all
So
I
I
mean.
agree with that. Definitely adds more intrigue because now I'm thinking about it more. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so
All right,
uh,
Rams. You're golly.
no way. That's awesome. Um. All right,
Oh, gosh.
and Sarah
Do
Goldberg.
do not betray me. Do not
Goldberg.
betray me.
No, I'm not. No, I'm chanting his name. All right, that's all I want to do
Okay.
for this last run. All right.
Side note, I just want to get their picks up. Both the bad guy and Nathaniel pick Drew, which is very nice. And they also both pick LA Knight.
Okay.
I think LA Knight is getting moved to Raw. I really think he's getting moved. As he should. There is there's no acceptable result other than Gunther retaining.
Goldberg.
I will not entertain anything else.
Goldberg. No, it's Gunther. I no, it's sorry. I said this before and I'll say it again. The reason I want, yeah, there it is, alien technology. The reason I want to see Goldberg in his final match is for him to walk out of that locker room, walk to Gorilla. His entrance music hits. He walks through the smoke, breathes it out like a dragon, hit a spear, and then that's it. I don't know if he can get a jackhammer up, so that's why I'm not even going to put it out there. I would love to see that, but let's just take it for what it is. All right. It's the last ride. You want to see all the glitz and glamour that came with Goldberg, but we're not in that era anymore where these senior citizens are taking gold off of our,
And they are technically senior citizens because he's above the age of 55. So
he is. So I mean,
which is still insane because I'm like, that's not a senior citizen in today's world when people live in 70s to 80s, 90s. Back in the day, yeah, you were ancient if you lived to 50, but not anymore.
Yeah. No, it's Goldberg.
Thank God. Otherwise, I'm near death.
Yeah, basically.
That's
Aren't we all? Aren't we all, Sarah? It's one day at a time. If you want to take the bleak look at life, but I don't because there's better things ahead. All in as well. That is on.
I can
Saturday.
keep my streak going.
All right, so let me just get the T chart out. So we got AEW All In on Saturday, 3:00 start time, Sarah.
Which is weird because they're in Texas, so
it's they have a 2-hour, right?
No, I think they might be 2 hours behind you. No, but I'm just saying, like, in general, it's still like, it sounds like a time that would mean that they were overseas.
Correct. No, yeah, we don't really see a lot of these earlier start times in America. I don't have banners for this. There's just too many. There's too many. So, I'm gonna go off of INT WWE. Well, that's ironic. But anyways, we will start with the AEW Tag Team Championship match. The Hurt Syndicate of Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin taking on Jet Speed, Kevin Knight, and Mike Bailey versus the Patriarchy of Christian Cage and Nick Wayne for the AEW Tag Team Championship. What do we got?
I'm going to say the Hurt Syndicate retain.
Yeah, they hurt people, Sarah, all right? And they're going to continue to hurt people on Saturday, all right? Everyone in that match is fantastic. Love Speedball Mike Bailey, but no one realistically is going to take down the Hurt Syndicate right now. They are just powerhouses. I can't entertain that.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we got Adam Cole, Bebe, defending the TNT Championship against Kyle Fletcher. I'm going with my fandom here, and I'm going with Adam Cole, Bebe.
I'll say the same.
All right, Adam Cole.
Rams, you're shedding way too much, girl.
All right. The next up is the tag team match between the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, taking on Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland.
Oh, jeez.
And Sarah, I don't know if you knew this. You definitely didn't know this. If the Young Bucks lose, they would drop their EVP title. If Ospreay and Strickland lose, they cannot challenge for the AEW World Championship for a year.
I think the Young Bucks win.
I'm going with EVP Bucks as well, Sarah. I believe that the storylines and the feud that will come about after a loss between Ospreay and Swerve Strickland could continue for a year.
Yeah, and it does. It's neither one of them have to be going for a title to like have a good match or have people invested.
No, they don't need the title. They are just as entertaining and talented on their own. And this match is going to feed families. Oh man, that match is going to be so good. And I mean, yeah. Women's casino gauntlet match. There's really no participants that, I'm going to say Athena, Sarah. Athena does, and the stipulation or reward for this match, winning this match is a future title shot at like the next pay-per-view. Athena deserves to be on AEW Dynamite or at least AEW television because she's just on ROH. I want to see Athena on Dynamite and be part of that women's division, not because it's lacking, but because it needs another star like Athena. So
I am just gonna go with what you're saying because obviously I have no idea, but I also know that people have not been happy with how Athena has been treated. So I think this is kind of a way to rectify that a bit.
100% agree. See Chris Statlander there in the comments. Saraya, I don't even think works for AEW anymore, Nathaniel. It's more likely for her to show up at Evolution at this point than All In.
I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm kind of intrigued by that idea potentially. I don't know.
I am too. No, I really am. I would love that. What's the next match? Oh, the men's casino gauntlet match. So the participants it's MJF, Mark Briscoe, I think, Mystico. I am going to predict an Eddie Kingston return. I want to see that so bad. And I'm staying off of social media basically all of Saturday so that it's not spoiled for me. So I will send my farewells. But yeah, I really want to see Eddie Kingston come back. Do I want to see him win? Maybe not. Oh, this is another one, Nathaniel. That's a Darby could come back and win the gauntlet.
But who does he face if he
wins?
The
winner of Hangman or Mox.
Oh. Yeah, I guess that makes sense then. I was going to say like MJF, but no, I'll go with Darby then.
Okay.
I'm not going to keep my streak going.
No, this time it's too all over the place.
Yeah.
Really. I don't know.
I think that makes sense storyline wise, right?
For MJF or Darby?
Well, Darby winning, but that would also mean that would also have to mean that Moxley retains, right?
Which if Moxley retains,
wouldn't have him go against.
I actually think there's going to be a riot.
Oh, jeez. Well,
people need to relax. I'll just say MJF for shits and giggles because, nothing on the line. We're doing this for fun, So, let's get to another match. Oh, we got Omega Okada 5 for the unification of the International and Continental Championship to basically make the AEW Intercontinental Championship. So, what do we got?
Omega.
I'm not betting against my guy Omega. I'm not betting against my guy Kenny Omega. I can't. That's the greatest wrestler in the world. That is the greatest wrestler in the world. I know he's got Don Callis on his side now, so that could throw a wrench into things. But fuck Don Callis. Kenny Omega is our pick. And then if Mox Hangman was not on the card. This would be the main event. Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné
Oh, Jesus Christ.
for the TBS Women's Championship.
I'm gonna say Toni Storm. Mercedes has enough titles, and she's been getting a lot of scrutiny over the past couple weeks because of how many titles that she has. So if Tony Khan was smart, he wouldn't put another one on her.
I like my fandom wants to agree with you, but something in my gut is telling me that Mercedes Moné is going to walk out with that championship. And yeah, so I hope you're right, Sarah. This is one of those instances where I want to be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're gonna just hope Pitts is wrong. And the main event in a Texas death match, Jon Moxley defending the AEW World Heavyweight briefcase against Hangman Adam Page.
I'm saying Moxley retains.
I'm going with the Hangman. I love Mox. That's my guy, but Hangman has made a case for being the hero that AEW needs over the past few months and winning the Owen. I believe it would be a really good feel good moment for them to end the show on.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be there. Like, it's going to be a chaotic ending. We're going to have, bless you, we're going to have so many run-ins, so much interference. The fact that it's a Texas death match already, there's no rules. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of that and help Hangman get the victory. Who truly helps Hangman? I don't know. Twitter will crash. A lot of things will crash.
Mm-hmm.
Timeless Toni Storm wins. Hangman wins after the Avengers come down for the save. Basically, it's going to be the AEW Avengers. Who, is Bryan Danielson really going to help? If he does, the roof would blow off the place. That is I have not been this excited for an AEW pay-per-view in quite some time. I cannot have this spoiled to me.
Yeah, then you got to stay offline for sure.
I have to essentially give my phone to my nieces and nephews to play backyard baseball on. You know what I mean? I can't be near it. So I can't do it. But yeah, because if Bryan Danielson does come back to help, the full 180 180 because on the story, the long-term storytelling, because Mox was the one who obviously dethroned him and then retired him. Oh, that would be really good.
Yeah, that is true.
Good. All right, that's enough predictions, Sarah. All right, that's enough predictions. Few more topics before we get into the 3 count. Just wanted to give a shout out to Shayna Baszler for producing match last night, the Kalani Jordan. I forget who she fought. Why am I forgetting who she fought last night? I watched it too.
I can't help because I did not watch. So
I forget who she. Oh, that's annoying. But yeah, she produced that match. Sarah, what do you think of Shayna Baszler producing?
I think that it's a good move. I mean, obviously she was a fighter before she went to WWE. So I don't know if that's something that, she necessarily wanted to continue doing actively. I mean, she is in her 40s. So it's she doesn't have to do it anymore if she doesn't want to. But I do think that this could be a good opportunity because I want to see more women producing matches. I think that is cool. Because anytime we ever hear about producers in WWE specifically, they're always men. So I think that is pretty cool. And if that's what she's going to do, I think NXT is a great place for her because she definitely is a different kind of women's wrestler than what many people are accustomed to. And she has a lot of unique knowledge because of her background in MMA. So that is the kind of stuff that she can also share with the girls that are, you know, learning how to wrestle and whatever,
Mhm.
because they don't all want to be, you know, Barbie diva girl wrestlers, you
Yeah,
know,
no,
like,
they
so
wanna
she
be
can
ass
help.
kickers.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what they're trying to do right now.
Mhm.
So I think that she's like a really solid piece to the crew if that's what she's doing now, like if that's her new role now.
Sometimes your best asset isn't what you think. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you don't have to be in the ring and competing to make an impact on the business, and
Mhm.
this is a moment like that where you would like to wrestle again, but either you're beat up or, you know, shit's just not rolling your way, where
Mhm.
this is another avenue, you know, turn
Yeah.
left, turn right, you know, it's yeah, I think about this like all the time with just other shit in my life, but like sometimes, you know, you get an opportunity poised to you or thrown at you, and you don't think of it as like, oh, it's like a demotion, or oh, I wish I was doing this. Like, no, but like this is where I'm actually supposed to be, and she can do a lot of good in a producer role, especially with the abundance of talent that the women's division has right now.
Well, and you know, Tyson Kidd couldn't wrestle anymore, so he became a producer. Bobby Roode decided that like he couldn't.
Petey Williams,
Yeah, they're
Jason Jordan.
yeah, and it's like they have, I mean, other than having a unique perspective on producing matches as opposed to the people who produce matches and have never wrestled before,
Mhm.
obviously Shayna comes in with like a totally different background than all of them, which I think is
Yeah,
cool because that's something that everybody can benefit from. But
absolutely.
I think it's cool, especially for the women.
Yeah, very cool. Nah, I don't want to talk about that. We're already
Okay.
at over an hour.
Yeah,
And for clips, like WWE,
we're
would you go
fine.
to a WWE theme park? Yes, you would, Sarah. I know
Yeah.
you would. I would too. But this is worth talking about, Sarah. This is absolutely worth talking about. TNA president, I'm gonna get his name right now. Carlos Silva says that TNA wrestling is in a 60 to 90-day window to get media rights deal done. Quote from Carlos Silva from the Ariel Helwani show, along with our partners at Axis, Len Asper, Andy Schoen, who runs Axis TV. We want to find a bigger platform. We have a CAA helping us. We're actively in the middle. If I can get a few things done, I'd love to tell you about the deals. We're close. We've been working on it since the beginning of the year, really since I joined. It is really accelerated over the last 60 days. We're working through it. Now, I don't know where it's going to go. He replied, I think we could be in a 60, 9-day window to get something done. As you know, the media landscape is changing every single day, and literally week to week, things are changing. We just saw some other networks that are getting to get sold again this week, and they're changing hands. You never know. It's never done until there is our dotted and the I's are dotted and the T's
Oh
are
my
crossed.
goodness.
We're working hard. Sorry, I would say it's a lot of excitement because
Reading
TNA's
is
gonna get a
hard.
deal. You know what?
Reading
It
is
freaking
hard.
is, Sarah. All right, with the eyes and the screens, there's a lot of letters there. But yeah, TNA could be getting a TV deal soon and be live broadcasting 52 weeks a year. How
Yeah.
awesome is that?
No, that is. I think uh it'll be interesting to see where they land and like how that directly correlates to WWE and AEW, if it's any sort of competition or um what networks or platforms, streaming platforms are interested.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll tell you a lot for how far TNA has come in the last couple years.
Oh yeah.
And it's fascinating because it's like uh you know, TNA used to be the competition for WWE, obviously on a lesser scale, very much like AEW, but it's good to see them getting back to that point, you know, where they are being taken seriously, they are being watched a lot more, and that they can get a TV deal again.
Mm-hmm.
That's something to celebrate no matter if you watch TNA or you don't, you know, like it's good
Yeah.
for wrestling, as we've talked about with AEW and how everything is growing in the professional wrestling in general.
Competition creates cash. All right. Everyone wins when there's competition. Why was the Attitude Era so successful? Because there were two amazing companies putting on amazing shows every week. What happened when WCW was bought by the competition? we had some pretty rough years. We had the celebrity guest era. Okay. We had 2002 to 2004, which had some highlights, but a lot of low lights too, Sarah. So you need competition to do your best work. And this only will benefit wrestling companies everywhere. It's getting eyes on the product. It's getting people invested into wrestling.
Very
That's what we
true.
want. That's what we want. All right, enough of that. Let's get on to the 1, 2, 3 count. Sarah, I mentioned this on the Raw Rewind yesterday that I was rewatching Slammiversary matches. Do you know what a King of the Mountain match is before I just mansplain to you?
I don't remember, but we just talked about it. So I just have a bad memory.
Okay, so a King of the Mountain match is a reverse ladder match, essentially. 6 competitors start in the ring, and there is a penalty box similar to is it Iron Survivor in NXT? I think is what it's called.
Oh, yeah.
It's similar to that, where once you are pinned, you are put into the penalty box for 2 minutes. Now, when the match starts, you have to get a pin to hoist the title. Okay, so you can't just go for the title right away, obviously. So you have to get a pinfall to go hoist the title. And once you get a pinfall, you can do that, and then you try to hang the belt at the top of the mountain, essentially. And I love this match. I think it's one of the more creative match types where it's not so out of the box that it loses interest.
Yeah.
So, and I would like to see, I hope they do it at Slammiversary this year. I don't know if they will. Oh no, they're not. They're not going to do it. I wish they did it at Slammiversary this year because it's usually for the TNA Championship, but we're getting the triple threat between Joe Hendry, Trick Williams, and Mike Santana.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
I said his name. Sorry. I need Mike Santana to win that match. I have been all on the Mike Santana train. His entrance has me gassed. As someone who watched him in the not Jericho Appreciation side, but the Inner Circle, I think it was, in AEW, and with Ortiz, didn't know obviously his history before then in TNA, so I just thought of him as just like a side character. But realizing that he is so much more than that and so over, like I love him. And the promo he cut on TNA last week, holy shit, talking about how he wants to bring it home to his daughter.
Oh,
and he can't.
Fuck them kids. I'm just kidding.
I want to see it.
It's on brand
is that what
for
it
me.
is?
It's fun. It's on brand for me to say fuck them kids.
Because Gunther would say the same. I hate that. You know what? That makes me fucking hate him even more. I hate that he's on Mount Rushmore. I'll say in kayfabe, I don't have any really. Maybe actually I do. Hold on. Let's see.
Razor Ramon or Scott Hall is really Cuban.
Scott Hall's. I did have a couple. I had 3. I like the Scott Hall's Cuban. Scott Hall grew up in Cuba.
People legitimately thought that he was Cuban, which is still hilarious because he just played such a stereotypical.
There'll be more to that. We can.
Yeah, it was just like, I don't know. That's funny.
The 3 I had were Kofi Kingston grew up in Jamaica. Nikki Bella graduated from Chase U.
Okay. I can see that.
The gear and everything. Yeah, all right, we're on the same page. And Dolph Ziggler is Nick Nemeth's long lost brother.
Evil brother.
Evil twin. I'm gonna go evil twin. I like evil twin. I'm glad we worked that out. Dolph Ziggler is Nick Nemeth's evil.
Yeah, we got this one. Undertaker and Kane.
Oh, we have that. That's
I still have. I remember when I was like outside of a show. I think it was outside of Raw in San Jose, and there was that girl there who was talking about her baby rat, and she had a letter that she wanted to give to Kane's brother, the Undertaker. And we didn't argue with her because we were like, yeah, they're real brothers. So good
They
time.
are. I thought. Do you know how long it took me to realize that they weren't? Like way. I was way older than I should have been. Let's put it that way.
No,
Way
it's
older.
like I we were watching Toy Story the other day,
Mhm.
and it took me until this day that I realized why Woody says reach for the sky. I literally I just put 2 and 2 together.
He's
And
a
I
cowboy.
felt no. He's a sheriff.
Yeah.
Put your hands up. Put your hands up.
That's what.
No, not like, hey, it's no, put your hands up.
Shit.
You're
Like, yeah,
being
I'm gonna shoot
arrested.
you in the fucking face.
No,
Yeah,
I want
got it.
arrest you because he's a sheriff.
Oh, well, yeah.
Like,
Okay.
put your hands up. Like you're a bad guy. It took me way too long to.
I'm gonna agree with that. Kind of the same thing.
I never had Toy Story like them on VHS though as a kid. So
Oh, before Monsters Inc., Toy Story was my favorite, but Monsters Inc. takes the crowd easily.
we still have all of our Disney VHS tapes, by the way,
really
in a box in our closet. Yeah,
that's lore. That's lore right there.
No, we still have a ton of our VHS tapes, like an entire box full.
That's
my mom was like, you can't get rid of these. I'm like,
you
okay.
can't.
We got rid of some of them. It was just like ones that my mom had because like if you were just like collecting CDs, you just got CDs for the hell of it. So my mom got some VHSs, and I was like, why do we have this? But no, we still have all of them. So
that's pretty cool. That is
Yeah.
pretty fucking cool. And then to wrap it up, the Nonsense Wrestling Federation update. Sarah, we have made it to Clash at the Castle. I don't have any funny names for this. It's just Clash at the Castle. All right. And it is a combined show, your show and my show, to put on a seven match spectacle. Okay. And what we got before the captain of all things nonsensical puts his 2 cents in, we got opening the show for the World Heavyweight Championship, Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley in a steel cage match to open the show.
wow.
Jacob Fatu defending the United States Championship against AJ Styles. Solo Sikoa is in his corner. All right. They're still
Jacob's.
They're still, yeah, they haven't, there's no love law. We're all together in the bloodline
Got
in the
it.
galaxy. It is, I don't know what to call this. We're going to call it the Tag Team Champion Showcase, because we have Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair taking on Pretty Deadly
Sick.
in an Extreme Rules match.
Let's fucking go. If my boys don't win, I'm disappointed.
I'm so excited to watch this, quite honestly. And I didn't even make this. Like,
fuck it up,
incredible.
boys. Let's go.
And after winning his number 1 contender match on SmackDown 2 weeks ago, Damian Priest will challenge KO Kevin Owens for the WWE or NWF championship, but not in the main event. Yeah, right. Like, dude, I'm not kidding. Bad guy. Like, you need to, like, if we can get at least 5, I'm gonna knock it down to 5 people that are like, Pitts, you should stream it, and like I will start streaming and commentating. I'll take Corey Graves and Michael Cole off. All right, and you'll get me. And then once I figure out the technology, we can get Sara in there too. But I don't have the technology for that, Sara, yet. But once we do, love to have you on. The 5th match is a grudge match. All right, I hope this rivalry ends, but it has been good. Io Sky taking on Liv Morgan. They've just been feuding. I didn't do anything. That's just the Universe Modes rivalry storyline that they had in when I started this. And it's been fine, and in real life, like if these two were feuding, it'd be pretty cool. Sarah's not facing anybody.
Rude.
However, she will be in the corner of somebody in the main event.
Okay.
Right? So, and then the 6th match after that is another grudge match, which is absolutely ending after the show. I don't care if the game wants to continue it. The captain is putting his foot down. Cody Rhodes and Uncle Howdy in a steel cage. We're gonna have 2 steel cage matches. It's nonsense. I didn't do it. The producer, that's what they did. I just run the show. I make my changes. And then the main event, Sarah. The main event of the show.
Don't disappoint me right now or betray me.
Okay. Main event of the show is for the World Heavyweight Championship. Big Gold. Ilya Dragunov challenging Gunther with the bad gal herself in Gunther's corner. Yes, Sarah, bad gal is in the universe mode as well. Sarah, what do we think of that card? What do we think of that card?
I like it. I definitely was doing double duty. I was definitely in Pretty Deadly's corner as well. Can you imagine?
I could make that a thing.
I'm in Pretty Deadly's corner and Gunther. Makes sense.
Actually,
same wavelength.
Well, here's the thing, Sarah. It's nonsense.
It is. It's nonsense.
So you could, if you want, I can do that.
It's pretty funny.
Because I do have to. I don't know if I like the 2 steel cage matches, but you know what? Fuck it.
I mean, hey, the cage is already there.
It's already there. You know, like just.
And hey, there's a women's cage and a male cage. So
see, we're all about equality here,
yeah.
Sarah. This is what I mean. So we're gonna keep that card as it is, only adding Sarah in those corners. Because just imagine you in the corner, Pretty Deadly, facing Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair in an Extreme Rules match, and then in the main event you just pop out with Gunther. Like that's nonsense, baby, and that's what we keep doing. So I will get that going. I'll jot it in my notes how everything went, and then we'll have an update for you next week.
And I'm ignoring the bad guy suggestion because how dare you?
I didn't even see the bad guy.
How dare you? How dare you?
Sarah versus Jey Uso on a street fight. If Sarah loses, Sarah has to yeet.
How dare you?
As you can tell from the card, I turned on intergender wrestling. Best decision I could have made.
Yeah.
The matches that they have suggested are hilarious.
Yes.
Oh my god. And so, like, yeah, this is what I'm saying. I mean, I'm thinking of streaming this. I just gotta obviously, if you're in and people are interested, then we will do it. We'll find a time to do it every week, and I'll commentate. And then once we get the technology to do it, we'll have Sarah hop in as well, because you have a show, I have a show, and then I let the nonsense execs, they take care of NXT. I don't fucking care about NXT, all right? Not in a bad way, but like, I got my own show, all right? You deal with a show with Cody Rhodes, Uncle Howdy, and Mike Wazowski, all right? Like, you deal with that, all right? So, yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. I want to see interest in that. And if you're already interested, just yeah, we'll make it happen. So that's all I got. That's all we got for you guys this week. Thank you for tuning in to the special Wednesday edition of the No Nights Off Super Show. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button right now. Excuse me, and bell notification to know every time we go live. All right, every time we go live, and when we post, we'll have the predictions out. And follow us on TikTok as well. Follow us on TikTok, No Nights Off Show. We're gaining traction there. Maybe we'll get more shit going on there. Who knows? We just got to grow the following. Maybe we can go live, Sarah. Maybe we can go live on the TikTok next time. And we can set that up. I could set that up if you just give me the username and password. I can work on that. And then our personal Twitter accounts. Obviously, because it will be our personal social media accounts, because you got to know what we're talking about. All right, we're tweeting up a storm. Sarah's not only tweeting up a storm about wrestling, but Patriots as well. I mean, we have the bad guy asking about the Patriots. He already asked about.
We're getting into the season of where I'm only going to be talking about Patriots, basically.
Well, that's why you go. So go follow her for wrestling and other sports. Follow me for wrestling and nonsense. So for Sarah on Twitter, it's just Twitter at @SMarchXO. And for me, it is at Patty Pitts on Twitter, X, Instagram, and TikTok as well. So, yeah, that's all we got for you guys. Thank you for tuning in. God bless. And remember that you can do it. All you got to do is try. See you next week. Peace.